And I did a video on Rumble and BitChute. You know, no holds barred, no holding back. Now for the YouTube friendly version. Has anyone seen a 23andMe or Ancestry DNA commercial in the last few months? Yeah, me neither. Weird, huh? So everyone's giving up their DNA during the COVID tests, right? I mean, you got a swab, right? You're giving your DNA. It's just interesting. There's no more commercials for Ancestry or 23andMe. And again, 23andMe owner, CEO, is the sister of Susan Wojcicki, whatever her damn name is, CEO of YouTube. Her sister runs 23andMe, DNA collecting outfit. There's probably just nothing to it. Don't worry about it. Just give up your DNA. Don't worry about it. And then I'd like to just share with you this interesting chart I'll put on the screen. And you can, in fact, see. It's from the CDC. Again, authority source according to YouTube. So I proudly present this to you. And you'll see a strange thing. From 2010 to 2020. Remember, all of 2020... starting in the spring, technically speaking, they said, or right after winter, right around there. Coronavirus outbreak, it's bad. It's going to kill 4.5% of people. Remember that number, 4.5%, which it turned out to be 0.02%, by the way. Right in line with the flu virus, practically. Anyways, deaths. These are all deaths. Any reason in the world for U.S. citizens. This is U.S. population here. 0.8% of the population dies every year. But we gain more than 0.8, of course, in new births and whatnot, new population. And it changed to 0.9 as of 2017. But it stayed 9999, right? So if you look from, for example, 2014 to 15, there was 20 new deaths per 100. This is per 100,000 people. 20 new deaths per 100. That's a nice little jump, isn't it? Was there some kind of crazy pandemic? Again, it's still 0.8. Doesn't sound like a pandemic to me. Whatever. 2015, 2016. Look at the numbers. They're barely creeping up. And they should barely creep up because why? Population is increasing every single year. 309 million, 318 million, 325 million. We're at 330 million. So we'll round this off just for easy math. 310 million in 2010. Exactly 10 years later, we've grown by 30 million people. Technically 31 million, okay? 31 million people we've grown by. And again, this does include deaths. 2.4 million deaths. 2.5 million deaths. But it doesn't matter because even though these many people are dying, we are still increasing the population. Okay? So, fast forward to 2018, 327 million people. Next year, 328 million people. 2020, 330 million people. We actually gained 2 million. See, between 2018 and 19, they only gained about a million, roughly, estimating. From 2019 to 2020, nearly 2 million. So we actually gained more people during the damn coronavirus. And again, 870 out of 100,000 people died in 2019. The next number is only 8 higher, 878. I've shared this information with you earlier this year, by the way. Year before that, 868, 865, 849, 844, 8, and again there's that 20 drop, 824, 821, 810, 807. This is right in line. This is so perfect. Such perfect data. You have to ask yourself, how could there have been a coronavirus outbreak that was a major pandemic at a pandemic level? Because pandemic levels means lots of people are dying. It's not just the average thing or whatever's happening. Something's happening abnormally high deaths. That's what a pandemic is. So we had a pandemic. That's the official story for 2020 and 2021. But the data is raising the bullshit flag. This data on the screen, which is presented by YouTube authority source, the CDC. This is acceptable by YouTube. You can't be misquoting medical misinformation or they'll knock your channel down or remove your video. So it's a good thing I'm using CDC data to prove my point. And my point is, you can't have a pandemic by definition and have data saying there's not a pandemic. The data says no pandemic has ever happened, as a matter of fact. Not from 2010 even. So Zika virus, Ebola, any of it. Bird flu, doesn't matter. The data here from the CDC says we've not had a pandemic by the very definition of a pandemic. Which is, again, extraordinary amounts of deaths. Above and beyond normal. This data does not show that. So whatever we had in 2020 or 2021, they're still labeling it a pandemic, coronavirus. But I could label myself as the most beautiful, gorgeous man you ever seen. I could label myself that. And I can get the mainstream media to do it and everybody to do it. And as long as we keep telling you over and over and over, Joe is the most beautiful, gorgeous man around. Well, then I am. I am. Why? Because I said so and the media said so. But you may say, that's the biggest Mr. Potato Head, Humpty Dumpty looking, Eggo Waffle Head son of a bitch I ever seen. That is not the most beautiful guy I ever saw. He's not gorgeous. He doesn't even have hair on his head. I went and looked at I looked at myself like I had to double check. You don't, right? You don't have any hair. Really? It was just a reaction. I'm sorry about that. I know I don't have any hair. So anyways, something stinks in Denmark, as they say. And that's about as crazy as I can get with you on YouTube. Take care.